I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. This is not going to be ideas and uh, coaching so much, but this is going to be a little bit more practical. Um, so, I have been going through some stages of grief and loss myself, and I have not properly processed through it. And I've been holding on to a lot of loss from the last year, the last 2 years. I'm coming up on memorial dates of losses of loved ones. Um, so I want to make this video to kind of show you a window into what I do personally, but also to help you. So the way this video is going to work is I'm going to break down some of the ideas and concepts of the different stages of loss and grief and how I'm going to work with you guys in this video to help with healing, with tapping, with a little bit of NLP and hypnotherapy combined in there. And if you choose to follow along, great. If you choose to just absorb the information, great. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but I'm kind of overdue in dealing with this and I have not properly dealt with it. I kind of just stuffed my emotions down. Don't advise that. So it's time for me to actually do this myself. So just at a high level, for everybody who's not aware of like grief and loss, these are some heavy emotions and programs and beliefs that you will face in life, especially with the loss of a loved one. Maybe it's a loss of a friend. Maybe it's a loss of a pet. I've kind of gone through all of them. So let's see. I've lost a cousin. I lost both of my grandparents, and I lost a pet all in the last year. Um, so this is going to be a different type of video for me because we're going to see how this works or doesn't work. We're going to put this to the test. Now, you might need to go several rounds, but let's see. Let's see where this goes. I hope this video helps somebody because I know this is something I need to do myself. So just so everybody's aware, on the Kubler-Ross stages of grief, there's, depending on which book you use or which reference you use, there's either 5 or 7 different stages. So I'm just going to go through the one that has 5, just so we kind of like touch on what each one is. And then also we're going to use, I'm going to start tapping with you, and we're going to do a little bit of breathing to kind of clear out some of these thoughts and feelings that we've been experiencing. So in the Kubler-Ross stages of grief and loss, there's 5 stages. The first stage is, depending on which one, it's either shock or denial, right? So it's really hard that this person is gone. We might be in a state of shock that like, did this just happen? You might be in a stage of denial, really questioning if this is really the way life is going to be. There might be, some checking out mentally, like mentally just not wanting to deal with it, right? That's kind of the stage I was in for a while. I just kind of thought like, okay, maybe I moved past it, and I should have done a little bit more thorough inspecting and like emotional processing. I haven't, so that's my responsibility. But that's your benefit. You're getting a free video here where we're gonna go through this together. The second stage is anger. So anger is where when you've lost somebody near and dear in your life, you might get angry. Maybe you get angry at yourself. Maybe you get angry at a certain person. Maybe you get angry that that person left you. Maybe you get angry with God or the universe or whatever your belief system is. Maybe you get cynical, resigned, jaded. All of this is possible. The third phase is called bargaining. And this is where you're starting to struggle to find meaning in life. And so you're trying to, you're wanting things to be different. You're wanting things to change. Maybe you're retelling the same old stories. Don't you remember that time that my grandmother did this? Or don't you remember that time my friend did this? Like, I just miss him so much, right? So this is the bargaining stage. And then the fourth stage is really depression. And this is a heavy one. I've gone through this multiple times with loss, and my goodness, I've just had a lot of loss in the last probably 8 or 9 years. But sometimes you just have to you have to deal with the emotions. If you don't deal with the emotions, they can actually get trapped in the body, And so when you go through modalities such as massage, right, massage therapy, when they're actually applying massage techniques, you're actually draining you're draining some lymph, but you're also like you're actually moving the muscle and the nerves, and you're moving some of the blood flow. When you're doing this, this is actually causing shifts within your brain chemistry, and sometimes those trapped emotions get released. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing if it happens all at once. Acupuncture kind of does this too, right? So they know how to activate or deactivate certain nerve centers or certain centers of, of vibration within the body that can cause flow. So what we want to do is we want to actively process through our emotions so that we're not stagnating, we're not contaminating ourselves. We want to deal with this in a healthy, responsible way. So depression is definitely something you want to deal with wholly, completely, totally. And then the fifth stage is acceptance. Now, this might be, um, depending on your association with that word acceptance. Some people have a negative association and they think acceptance is a dark thing. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to accept that life sucks and that there's no point in life. And that's not what we mean by acceptance. That is more in the earlier stages. And that's kind of like a resignation, a jadedness, a cynicism, or despair. In acceptance, which is stage 5, you are navigating your way forward through the different spaces that you're going through. Maybe you're accepting that the person is gone. You're accepting that the situation is what it is, and it's not what it used to be. Maybe you're accepting that there's nothing more that you could have done in this situation. Maybe you're accepting your willingness to honor the person's memory, right? All of these are different stages that you will need to go through and you want to address, especially as you go through your own cycles of grief, loss. You want to deal with this so it's not eating you alive. It's not just hiding, it's not latent, but it's something that you're willing to process through. When you process through these emotions, you will notice a shift, an upheaval. You'll see that you might shift from one emotional state to another emotional state. And the importance here is to consciously experience the emotions you're feeling, not to judge them, to honor them, to allow them the space to express, and you want to allow it to be released in its own time. Now, the modality I'm going to be working with you all in today in this video is probably going to be a combination of EFT with NLP. So what this is going to look like is we're going to tap along certain meridian points and I'm going to call them out, and I'm also going to show you where I'm tapping on. And this is going to help you with flushing out the emotions from the body. Now, in addition to that, we're going to use a little tool I use very often. If you've worked with me, you know this, called anchoring. And we want to use anchoring in a way to dissolve some of the negative energy, to dissolve some of the negative emotions, and to ground ourselves in a positive, peaceful state. So before we get started, we need a positive anchor for the word peace. So you may have heard me in previous sessions when I've led classes, or maybe you've been on one-on-ones with me, and we do work with unconditional love. That's a powerful one, but this one that we're going to use today is going to be peace. So this is borrowed a little bit from Faster EFT, but I also have my own spin on it a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit different. So what we want to do is I want you to think of a memory that brings you the feeling of peace. So whatever that is, for some people, it's playing with a pet, right? For me, it was playing with my family dog, Anaya. She was a Schnauzer Poodle mix. She actually did pass last December. So she still has positive associations in my mind. Even though she's no longer here, I have very many happy memories of her. And what you want to do is you want to grab your wrist. Your wrist has certain meridian points here that get activated. And when you hold your wrist, I want you to think of a positive memory that is associated with the feeling and the thought of peace. So for me personally, I'm going to be thinking about playing with Anaya, petting her, um, just watching her, run around, chasing squirrels or something fun like that. And just watching her go back and forth, running around as I'm getting ready to get a treat. I know she's like ready, just like quickly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it just, she loved to play. And so that memory there, you can see it on my face probably, it brings up a feeling of joy. So you want to slowly bring up a memory as you're holding your wrist right here, right? You're holding your wrist and you want to say the word peace and you want to be thinking about that memory, that emotion, and you really want to feel it, feel the feelings of peace that this memory brings up. And I want you to make that picture in your mind bigger, more colorful, more vibrant. Hear the sounds, right? So if it's a pet, maybe you hear the way that they're making noise. If it's playing with a loved one or maybe spending time with a loved one, what is the ambient sound going on in the background? I've heard people, talking about going to a spa and then just experiencing what the spa is like, right? Or a retreat center, or maybe it was like scented candles. What was the aroma in the air, right? Think about what you feel, think about what you see, think about what you hear. What's the aroma? What is it? Maybe there's a taste, maybe it's a food that you're eating, right? Whatever the memory is, I want you to just think about that memory that brings you the memory, the feeling, the thoughts of peace. And I want you to focus that on in your mind's eye. Just maybe you close your eyes and think about it and hold on to your wrist just as I am here. It doesn't matter which hand you're using. We can, do the opposite of what I'm doing or do the same hand orientation depending on whether you're left hand or right hand. It doesn't matter. And just feel that feeling of peace. And I just want you to elevate that 5 times. Make that 5 times bigger. Feel it 5 times more. Hear it and experience it 5 times more. Just feel that feeling. Experience it. That's it. Keep going. That's right. Just feel that feeling of peace. Whatever that image is, whatever that visual is, whatever you're hearing, whatever you're seeing, whatever you're feeling, just bring that up 5 times more, 10 times more. That's it. You got it. Okay, and now as you're holding onto your wrist and you're thinking about the word peace and you're seeing what you see and you're feeling what you feel deep in your heart and you're hearing what you hear with your ears, and you're feeling all the sensations, this is now your anchor for peace. And when we squeeze on the hand and we say the word peace, I want you to just conjure up that image in your mind's eye, right? Just bring it to awareness and just think and focus with your mind, right? This is a mental exercise as well, about that image of peace, whatever that was. Maybe it was playing with a pet, maybe it's spending time with a loved one. You want to make it a happy memory for you that you can feel happy about right now, that feeling, that emotion of peace. Okay? Now, this is very critical before we start. Okay, now I'm going to tap along with you and we're going to kind of tap on the different stages of grief. And maybe you need to repeat one of the stages. Maybe I didn't go through it slow enough. So feel free to pause and tap along with me as you see fit. Okay, and we're only going to tap on 4 acupressure points this time. I'm going to follow the faster EFT model in this video. I'm not going to be going through the longer one that I usually do with people. So it's going to be here, which is going to be the eyebrow point, then side of the eye, under the eye, and then we're going to do under the nose, and then we're going to grab and hold when I say the word peace, and we're going to hold and think about that peaceful memory, and we're going to just release it and breathe out, okay? So I want you to, before we begin, I want you to think about this person that you've been experiencing grief and loss with, and I want you to think about what the pain is like on a scale of 1 to 10, right? And you want to write this down somewhere because there is a numerical value here, and I'm sure you feel it, and you want to like really honor whatever that number is, whatever that number is, right? So maybe you're feeling the pain on a level of 7. Maybe you're feeling the sorrow and the grief at a level of 8. Whatever that is, I just want you to honor that feeling, right? Just think about it, feel it, honor it, whatever that is, right? And we're just going to tap along with me, right? So just tap right on the eyebrow point right here. So it's like right as the start of your eyebrow, right? And you just want to tap with me and just start tapping. Doesn't have to be too hard, just enough to feel a little bit of pressure. Even though I'm dealing with all this grief, and you can say this out loud with me as I'm saying it, even though I'm dealing with all this loss, and just feel whatever's coming up for you as I'm saying these words. Even though I'm dealing with all this grief and all this loss, and it totally sucks, I deeply and completely accept and appreciate myself. Now tap on the side of the eye. And just breathe in and out as you're tapping. That's totally fine. Even though I'm hit with this grief and this loss, this loved one, named, I miss them. It hurts. I feel agony. I feel suffering. It totally took me by surprise. And quite honestly, I just don't want to deal with it. Okay, now tap under the eye. Even though I want to avoid these feelings, I don't want to deal with this loss. I don't want to think about this loss. Because if I think about this loss, it makes it more real. It makes it more painful. I dealt with all this shock. I dealt with all this confusion. And then people were really upsetting me, telling me about how they're in a better place, and I just wasn't ready to hear it. Okay, so we're still tapping under the eye. And everybody was sending me get well cards, and they were sending me cards, telling me they're thinking about me. And they were telling me that life just goes on, and they were trying to be encouraging, but it was the wrong time. I wasn't ready to hear it. I'm honoring the feelings that are here within me right now, and I'm welcoming them forward so that I can deal with them and I can honor them. And if they choose to express themselves, they choose to express themselves. Now tap under the nose. Even though it's really hard that this person is really gone, and I've kind of been like in denial, it feels like a dream. I've been questioning if this is really true. I don't want it to be true, and yet it's been true. How could this have happened? Maybe I'm still in a dream. Maybe I'll just wake up and the person will be there. Gosh, I wish that person was still here. And you might notice yourself yawning, and that's totally fine. Your emotions are processing, and that's what that is. Maybe you might feel a little lightheaded, and that's totally normal. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna say the word peace. So grab your wrist, close your eyes, and think about that happy memory. Take a deep breath in, hold, and release. Very good. Close your eyes, take another deep breath in, hold, and peace, and breathe out. Okay, now take another deep breath in, hold, and peace. Just honor your body, whatever it's happening is happening. Maybe you're noticing some tension in your neck getting loosened. Maybe you're yawning. Maybe you're tearing up. I don't know. Just honor it. If you need to go through denial one more time, just feel free to rewind a few minutes back. Just say whatever comes to your mind. If what I said was helpful, great. If it wasn't quite hitting the same, feel free to add. And just really just honor whatever space you're in. Now, we're going to go through the next phase, which is anger. Okay, so let's start tapping here. Eyebrow point. And anger has to do with this person is not in my life anymore, and just feeling all the emotions of anger. So I want you to welcome the emotions of anger that you might be feeling around this situation. Even though I have all this anger, I can't believe this person's gone. Like, what the hell? This person's gone. How could this happen? How could they leave me? I just can't deal with this right now. I feel so hurt. I feel so betrayed. I feel so frustrated. What does it all mean anymore? Right? So just really feel into those emotions there, whatever you're feeling or whatever you're picking up on. Now tap on the side of the eye. Even though I have all this frustration, all this anxiety, all this irritation, all of this upset, all this bitterness, that this person isn't here anymore. All this guilt that I'm feeling, all this wanting to blame somebody for this person not being here. Whatever the guilt and the blame is, like, feel free to name it. Maybe it was COVID, maybe it was a vaccine, maybe it was a doctor, maybe it was negligence, maybe it was a car accident, maybe it was unexpected. Whatever it is, like, you need to, like, express whatever the emotion is. I'm just so angry that this happened. I'm so angry at COVID. I'm so angry that the doctors gave this person something without their choice. I'm so I just want to blame those doctors. Any guilt you're feeling. I feel so guilty I wasn't there to help them myself. Oh, I wish I could have done more. Just really keep tapping into that anger. Even though I have all this anger, all this pent-up frustration, all this anxiety, all this upset, all this blame, shame, and guilt, I'm willing to let this go. Now tap under the eye. I honor myself, and I know I deserve to let this go. And whatever anger I'm feeling, maybe it's jadedness, maybe it's cynicism, maybe it's resignation, maybe it's a frustration with God, maybe it's a deep upset with God. How could you let this happen? Why did this happen? What's the point? This anger feeling around what's the point anymore? That's it. Boy, I'm processing through a lot right now myself. So if you're yawning, if you're yawning, burping, sneezing, trust me, this is your brain processing through these emotions. How could you let this happen? Why did this happen? How can good things happen to bad people? How can bad things happen to good people? How is life fair? Why does this happen to me and not anybody else? Why does this only happen to me? I must be cursed. Whatever's coming up for you, just speak it out loud. You don't want to give it any power. You just want to honor the thought and let it release itself. Just want to free it. All this guilt that I've been holding on to, I'm willing to let it go. Excuse me. All this blame that I've been holding on to. I knew what they should have done and nobody listened to me. Must just be my cards in life. Just be willing to let it go. I'm willing to let all this go. Willing to let go of this pain. Okay, now tap under the nose. Even though I have all this anger and this frustration and this irritation, all this upset, all this bitterness, all this guilt and blame and shame and frustration and all this anxiety. Just have all this anxiety. All these thoughts of how could this happen? Why did this happen? How could you let this happen? I can't believe they screwed it up. Of course this would happen. I knew this was going to happen. I choose to let this go now. I'm willing to let this go now. I'm willing to let go of all this anger. I choose to let go of all this anger. I allow myself to let go of all this anger. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Peace. Close your eyes. Think about that peaceful memory. Hold it and breathe out. Take another deep breath in. Think about that happy memory, that happy thought that brings you peace. Hold it and breathe out. My brain is resetting. Okay, so take another deep breath in. Hold it and breathe out. Peace. Okay, so what I want you to do is just think about yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you now? You want to be doing this every round. Just where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? How are you feeling? Now we're going to go through the next stage, which is bargaining. If you need to pause and go back through a couple stages, go through a couple rounds. Just play, rewind, totally cool. So now we're going to go through bargaining. And I really want you to start tapping into the feeling of bargaining. Just start at the eyebrow point. This feeling and this want to bargain to get this person back in my life. How hard it is to not have this person in my life and wanting this person back in my life. I'm struggling to find meaning without this person. I'm wanting things to change. I'm wanting things to go back to the way it used to be. I keep retelling the same stories over and over again. I keep hearing and thinking about those memories, those fond memories over and over again. Every time I see a picture of my loved one, it just keeps bringing up this memory, and I just keep wanting to spend one more time with them, if I could. All these feelings and all these thoughts associated with bargaining. I love myself. I honor myself. I trust myself. I accept myself. I appreciate myself. And I'm willing to let this go now for the greater good. Okay, now on the side of the eye, I know that if I honor these feelings right now, it doesn't mean that the person is gone from my memory. It just means that I don't have to suffer anymore. And I know that there are societal norms around how long I should be grieving and how long I should be suffering. And I'm willing to let that go now. Everybody grieves in their own time. Everybody heals in their own time. I don't have to be like everybody else. I can process through emotions at whatever speed I'm allowed to or whatever speed I'm willing to. And even though I've been struggling to find meaning these last number of days, weeks, months, years, and I've been wanting things to be different, it's okay to be where I'm at right now. Now, if there's anything you wanted to tell this person, I invite you to think about that and just say it out loud. What I wanted to tell this person before they were gone was, gosh, you made such a big impact in my life. I wish things ended in a better way. I wish I told you I loved you before you were gone. I wish I called you one more time. I wish I got to say more things at your passing and your funeral. I wish I got to have honored your memory better. You were so good to me, and I feel like I let you down. I feel so disappointed in myself. Whatever it is that's coming for you now, I just want you to say it out loud. Just pause the video and just keep tapping if that's what helps. Just think about, what did you want to tell this person before they were gone? Gosh, it's so hard to forgive you now that you're gone. Like, I really wish you didn't leave me. Okay, now tap under the eye. And what did you need to hear from this person before they're gone? You know, I really wish you told me that everything's going to be okay, because sometimes it doesn't feel that way. I really wish I could have seen your smile one more time, just to really soak it in. I really wish I could have heard your laugh one more time. I really wish we could have had one more meal together. Maybe it's a pet. You know, I really wish we could have played outside together one more time. Whatever it is, whatever you were feeling the need to bargain for, gosh, I really wish I could have you back. You really brought a lot of joy to my life, and I wish I had told you that more. Just honor whatever is there for you right now. Just speak it out. Okay, now tap under the nose. Even though I have all these thoughts and feelings about bargaining, and I wish things were different, and it sucks that it's not, and I wanted things to be changed or different, and it's not, and I keep getting stuck on telling the same stories. I didn't want to have to deal with this way. I just wish I could have seen that person's face one more time. I wish I could have heard those funny stories one more time. I wish I could have had one more meal together with you, one more memory with you. I wish I could have honored you and your memory a little bit better than how I did. Even though I have all these feelings and all these thoughts and memories, I deeply and completely accept and appreciate myself. I honor myself. I value myself. I deserve to heal, and I'm willing to let this go now. I'm willing to appreciate myself for all the things that I did and all the things I didn't get to do, but I still honor myself. I don't judge myself anymore. I release myself from all the pain and all the anxiety that I've been holding on to within. And if you're yawning, that's totally fine, totally cool. Your brain's just, doing a soft reboot. That's totally fine. Now grab your wrist, take a deep breath in, close your eyes, think about that peaceful memory, hold it, peace, and breathe out. Okay, take another deep breath in, hold it, peace, and breathe out. Take another deep breath in, hold it, peace, and breathe out. Okay, now measure yourself on that scale of 1 to 10. How much pain are you in? Now, we just went through 3 stages of grief. If you ever need to go back, absolutely do it. You're not limited to doing it in the order I'm doing it. You can just rewind and pause and go back, right? Let's go to the 4th stage, which is depression. So let's tap on the eyebrow point. Even though I might have some feelings of depression, I don't like thinking of myself as depressed, but maybe I'm experiencing a little bit of depression. The realization of the inevitable is just sinking in. It makes me really sad, fills me with sorrow. I just wish this person could come back. It's hard for me to admit that this person is really gone and they won't be coming back. I won't get to see them again. Even though I have all these feelings of depression, I'm willing to release them now. I'm willing to let it go. I choose to letting it go. These feelings do not serve me. And so I honor them and let them go. And now tap on the side of the eye. Even though I have all these feelings of overwhelm, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, cynicism, resignation, upset, jadedness, despair. Oh, that despair. Even though it feels like life is hopeless without this person in my life, I'm willing to let this go now. I'm willing to be free of despair. I'm willing to be free of helplessness and hopelessness. I'm willing to be free of overwhelm. I'm willing to be free of all the sadness and sorrow that I've been holding on to deep within my heart. My heart is willing to open up and let this all go. I appreciate myself. I honor myself. I accept myself. I value myself. And I treat myself with respect. And I let all these feelings go now. I let all these thoughts go now. I let all these memories that have been holding me back go now. Okay, now tap under the eye. Even though I've held on to all this depression and all the associated feelings that I mentioned before, it doesn't really serve me. And I can choose to step into something better. I can choose to honor the memory of my loved one. I can choose happiness for myself. That person would totally want me to be happy. They wouldn't want me to suffer. They wouldn't want me to be in pain or agony or grief. They would want me to heal. And so I'm also choosing that for myself now. Now tap under the nose. Even though I have some residual feelings, some lingering feelings, I welcome them all up now, and I'm willing to let them go. I choose to let them go. I'm willing to free myself of these limiting emotions, these limiting beliefs, these emotions around depression, despair, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, cynicism, resignation, fear of the unknown, fear of loss, whatever else is there. I choose to let it go. I honor myself and I let it go. I deserve to heal. I am worthy of healing. And grab your wrist and take a deep breath in. Peace. And breathe out. Very good. Take another deep breath in. Think of that memory of peace. Feel it, hear it, see it, and breathe out. Okay, take another deep breath in. Hold it. Peace. And breathe out. Okay, now shake it off. Shake it off. Now I want you to measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How much sadness are you feeling? How much sorrow are you feeling on that scale of grief? Now, hopefully this has made a dent in your numbers. Now, part of it is going to be stepping into that 5th scale, right? I know this is a long video. I wasn't really expecting it to go this long, but here we are. I'm going through it myself, so I'm trying to clear through these myself. So this is for your benefit too. So if you are getting value from this video, keep pausing, keep going back and forth wherever you need to say something, keep going through the steps. If you need to rewind, go for it. Okay, now we're going to go through acceptance, which is the final stage. Now only do this when you're ready, because not everybody's ready to hit acceptance, because sometimes they have some lingering guilt. So if you feel any guilt, go back through some of the other phases, tap through those as well, right? Okay, so let's go through acceptance. And this is your ability to recognize that it's okay to move forward and you're willing to find your way forward. So even though I have all these beliefs and emotions that I was feeling very strongly, and it's hard for me to accept what is and what isn't, I'm willing to let this go now. I'm willing to learn from this experience. I'm willing to heal. I'm willing to step into healing. I'm willing to step into growth. I'm willing to step into freedom. I totally accept this loved one, this person, this family member, this friend, this pet is no longer with me anymore. They're gone. I accept the situation as it is and as it isn't. I accept there's nothing more I could have done. There's nothing more I can do. And that this person is no longer with me in this plane of existence. I'm willing to deal with the situation and work through the situation. Okay, now tap on the side of the eye. Even though I have all these feelings and all these thoughts, I welcome these all up now. Any resistance to acceptance, I welcome it up now. Anything telling me I'm moving too fast, I haven't grieved enough. It's not right for me to get this far in the process. I'm willing to let this go. I'm willing to step forward into healing. This person would have wanted me to heal, and it's okay for me to heal. I deserve healing. I'm willing to heal. I'm willing to honor the memory of this loved one in whichever way I choose. I'm willing to accept help and support from my loved ones during this time. I'm willing to hold space for myself during this time. I'm willing to forgive myself for anything that I'm beating myself up over. I'm willing to forgive anyone that I've been angry about in this situation. I'm willing to forgive the other person. It's not their fault that they're gone, or maybe I've been blaming them, but I'm willing to forgive this person. I'm willing to forgive this person for whatever I think they should have done instead. I'm willing to release myself from all judgments, expectations, betrayals, and hurts that I've been holding on to. I'm willing to accept and enjoy life. I'm willing to accept peace and serenity in my life because I deserve it. And this person would want me to have this in my life. And I choose that for myself now. Now tap under the eye. Even though I have some lingering feelings that it's not right to accept the situation as it is, I'm willing to honor this feeling and these thoughts. I'm willing to heal. I deserve healing. I'm willing to move forward in this situation. Even though I'm not sure it's okay to move past the situation, I'm willing to do it anyway. I'm willing to forgive myself for whatever I've been holding on to, for whatever I can't move past. I'm willing to forgive others. And I'm willing to forgive myself some more and even more. And now tap under the nose. I forgive myself. I forgive that other person. I forgive any other person that I'm blaming or upset with in this situation. I forgive anybody that is associated with the situation that I'm blaming right now. I'm willing to take full responsibility for my life and the direction of life that I head. I'm willing to heal. I'm willing to take a step forward in life. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to honor myself. I'm willing to appreciate myself. I'm willing to respect myself. I'm willing to believe in myself. I am willing. I honor my desire to heal. I honor all the thoughts and feelings in my body that I've been holding on to. I honor all the thoughts and feelings that my mind has been going through. And I'm willing to accept the situation as it is and as it isn't. And I'm willing to accept the scenario that is life right now. And I'm willing to accept that I can find my way forward. I'm willing to accept that I'm going to do everything in life to succeed. I'm willing to accept that I'm going to do everything in life to honor this person's memory in the way that they would have loved. I'm willing to accept my part in this situation, and it's totally okay. It's okay for me to heal. This person would want me to heal. I deserve to heal. And I forgive myself if I'm beating myself up anymore. And I step into acceptance totally and completely now. Now grab your wrist, take a deep breath in, hold, and release. peace. Take another deep breath in. Hold it, and peace, and breathe out. That's it. Just really stepping into that peace. Take another deep breath in. Hold it, peace, and breathe out. Okay, so we've just gone through 5 rounds of tapping, and we went through the entire Kubler-Ross stages of grief. Now, right now, I want you to measure where you are on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you started at a 10 in pain, it should have gone down considerably. If you need to rewind, go through some of these stages a little bit more in depth, feel free. If you need to add your own wording to make it uniquely your own, feel free, right? Part of the process is speaking, which is unsaid, but which is lingering in the heart, right? So there's certain things that we don't want to admit, right? Maybe it's whatever it is, right? So with my grandfather, I know there's a part of me that wanted to get his respect and his, I wanted to just earn his respect, and I did not feel like I had it before he passed. And part of me was in a state of avoidance, and he had just lost a lot of his memory. And like when I would see him, he would be on a loop of how he expected this for me instead of that for me. So part of me felt like I never got his respect, right? So whatever it is that you've been holding on to that you need to say it out loud, right? You want to honor those thoughts, those feelings, right? I forgive myself for never achieving the greatness that you saw in me that I wasn't able to see in myself. I respectfully disagree that this is what you wanted for me and this is not what I was able to do with my life, or this is what I chose to do instead, right? So whatever it is, honor that memory. With my grandmother, it was more along the lines of just I wanted to be around her, her feisty, sassy energy, and like just hearing funny stories, all sorts of shenanigans that she would get into, and just seeing that lightning fast wit that she had. One more time, with my cousin, just wishing that there was more that I could have done. Wishing I had known the severity of the situation beforehand so that I could have intervened. Letting go of blame of this person should have done that person should have done this. With my family dog, not knowing how much pain she was in and kind of taking her for granted in the last 6 months, not knowing how much pain she was in and how much her situation had deteriorated. So speak and honor your truth. See, that's the lesson here, is like you have to really go deep into what is there for you, what is not there for you. With any loved ones that, stepped out of your life, maybe it's not a literal death or a literal loss, but maybe it's just somebody that's just gone from your life and you had to part ways. Sometimes friendships end on sour notes, and you just have to honor whatever it was, whatever value you got from it, but also, things are now no longer the same. So regardless, you want to do the work. Don't let the emotions of grief, don't let the emotions of loss just fester. Don't let them just sit there and just kindling a fire within you and just hijacking you. You don't want it to hijack your mind. If you do, sometimes it can, sometimes outward manifestations can happen. I know, like the last few days I've just been sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping, and that's usually a sign of some level or layer of depression. And part of it was, I didn't really process the losses that I've experienced in life. And now as the memorials are coming up, I'm starting to think about them more and more, and just how, life has changed, and how, there's how life has changed. So like I was thinking about, everybody has the motherland that they go to, or maybe you do, maybe you don't, but like family members getting to go back to India and how I have nobody there anymore. I have no relatives on my father's side, no grandparents on my father's side, no grandparents on my mother's side. I have distant relatives that only speak the language Malayalam, and I can speak it enough to get by conversationally, but like I'm not super close to them. I've never, there's a lot of family members that I haven't met them. And so there's a part of me that's like dealing with this like identity crisis where it's like I've cut all the roots and like I can't go back. Um, so that's like hitting me more and more. So like I know family members in my life, they tie their roots to India, and like they themselves, like if they go back, they don't really have that same those roots there. And so they themselves feel like outsiders. So that's part of what I've been dealing with. And then just also like the finality of life, just knowing that there was all this time I could have spent with my grandparents. And the last time I went to India was um, the last time I went to visit them was 2010. And there were times I could have gone and I was too busy, right? So, whatever guilt you've been holding on to, whatever burdens you've been holding on to, you have to let it go. You have to release it. There were things that were meant to happen for you in your life. Don't let the finality of life bring judgment upon you for the things you did or the things you didn't. Heal those things. Allow yourself to, be kind to yourself. Be forgiving of yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Go through this video a couple times if you need to. If you need help, feel free to reach out. Maybe I can help you with scripts. If you need help with the tapping, just feel free to reach out. I hope this video is a blessing to you. God bless you all. Happy Sunday.